welcome to DVD Extras, brought to you by GFI Productions.
And Jory.
Jory, thank you so much for joining us. Jory was also something sentimental we wanted on record. So, Jory, what are we gonna give us?
This is what I was going to say to you guys, and
Well, let me turn my mic around.
we had just...
Nope, you do it wrong. You do it. There you go. I was turning my mic
was
around so I
like,
can
cheers.
do it, but G does it wrong. I can do it on my own mic probably.
Yeah. Ooh, kind of fun.
That sounded weird.
It was like a gargle. It was like... yeah, there was a gargle happening.
There you go. That's
There we
much
go.
better.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, enough, G.
G, stop.
It's like baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Yeah, now we're done. Anyway.
We're done. Okay, but no, what I was going to say, because we talked about it in the podcast about turning it on and off, and that was our last topic that we just spoke about.
A week on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yep.
Yeah.
That was the last thing we talked about. And I think
That was so long ago.
so long. It feels like years, but it's
Yeah.
only been days,
Weeks ago.
realistically.
Yeah. It does definitely feels like weeks ago.
Yeah, it's fuck.
Just fucking
Sorry,
say, George.
we
Keep
keep
interrupting.
interrupting.
No, don't get mad at him.
No,
We
it's
can literally
funny.
keep
Don't
interrupting
get
him.
mad at me.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, no, I think that realistically, you guys are always on, and that's the thing where it's like we talked about getting set up to being on, and G
not
was like,
true,
sometimes
man.
I'm an asshole, and sometimes I don't want to talk, and sometimes I'm this. I've hung out with G before a performance, after a performance, during a performance, and at a random time in the day.
Okay.
G is always on, and not always on, maybe
I ask you-
necessarily, but he's always a nice guy, and I think
Always,
that's
always
Thank you,
hard
thank you
to
so
a
much.
point. Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
And he's always respectful, and I think that's a topic in that where it's like sometimes when I'm not on, sometimes I'm a fucking dick.
See, okay,
Yeah.
but that's also.
But it's
I could
also
say the same
personable.
Exact, no,
You're
but I
right.
could also
You're
say
right.
the same exact
Well,
thing for you, man. Like,
yeah, it's like person to person. So like sometimes you think you're being a dick, even though you're not.
Yeah.
And I think the same. Like
I don't
I
think
think that's part of it.
I think there's been probably like 3 or 4 times where I was just being an actual dick, and immediately I felt bad about it. Like even though I said in my mind, like extra recently, I had someone I told them like I talked to someone about recently about they got another dog and they like got rid of like 6 other dogs, and I was like, listen, I know you have another dog, but make sure you take care of these dogs. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, you've had 6 other dogs before this in the last year. This dog should be the one to take care of it. And they took
care
it.
of that dog.
And I felt really bad about saying that, but I was just being honest about it. I have a hard time bringing up conflict, and Chris knows this more than anything. Chris has got me to the point where I'm boiling, and I will say shit, and I feel really bad about it. I'm just like, but also, I
Like
wanted
to me?
yeah. We've had. I mean, the last argument we had was pretty raw, and I felt really bad about it because I'm just like, I'm really like picking at like personal things. Like,
Yeah,
I find
but
really,
but also you're arguing with me, and I'll be like, "Yo, that was fucking uncalled for." And you're like, "Yeah, you're right." I'm like,
I
"Okay,
know, yeah."
And then we get back to the argument.
no, for sure. But
Yeah.
my thing is like, not everyone will take it that way, for sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't know.
but that's what I'm saying. I'm a bad example for a lot of things because I don't know. My fucks about certain things are very non-existent.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So if you personally attack me on something, I'm just like, "Yo, that was not cool."
You were like, shit, man.
Yeah, I was
But
like, fuck,
also,
dude.
you're not afraid to call somebody out.
Yeah, but see,
Yeah.
but
Too.
I love Chris enough to be like, even
But
if you
it-
said
in
that,
a
I'm like, fuck,
respectful
I didn't mean
way.
to hit like that itch. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
bring that to your.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It's just super crazy.
No,
but-
because I know what you're talking about, but like that's what I'm saying. But in general, like when people like argue with me about shit, and they're just like, "Oh, well, yeah, you can't fucking grow a beard and you're fat." I'm like, "Yeah,
you
man,
can't
that's
grow a beard, but you're not fat, bro.
I'm definitely fat.
You're thick.
I am both.
What two
You can
C's?
be
What
both.
two C's? Okay, baby.
Like, yo, man, like they'd have to like if I was
Like
like, a
Wop-
Thanksgiving
Wop-
turkey, like I'd take like 8 hours to cook.
Oh, bro, WAP was all about you.
$2 of stuff.
But anyway, like yeah, they bring in those like ad hominems, and they're just like, "Yo, fuck
Yeah.
you." I'm just like, "Yo, man, that's not cool." But like, that's
Yeah.
not what we're talking about. And
No,
I just
that's not what we're
immediately
doing,
just
man.
move past it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I guess that's the problem is like a lot of people just want to talk shit to you as a person, and it's like, "Oh, man."
I think the hardest thing is
People
also
get offended.
But also,
quick,
that's
and
why
I
I'm
don't
really
wanna
good
do
at
that.
talking shit.
But I think we've also. I mean, sorry.
pretty good
I'll
at
say that. I don't know.
shit.
I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like I've evolved into the point where criticism is not like we're not criticizing is better than judging. And sometimes
Sure.
like the critique like doesn't go through as what they're saying.
Correct.
And
Yes.
I want to get better. I want to get better about like having Chris being like, "Hey, man, like that cut, I'm not a big fan of."
Yeah.
And Chris, and I think we've gotten better about this of taking that in a way of being like, "Oh, in your perception, yeah, I get what you're saying." But what I want to get better about is like, why are you saying that? How can I fix it? Or
What can I
just try
do?
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like even being like on one or like being on that like mode,
Yeah.
it's hard, man. It's exhausting sometimes. So you're just like, listen, man, like there's times I'm sure you guys have all worked in an industry where you're just like, I don't want to be here and you have to be this.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. Like I love music. I love being a musician. Don't get me wrong. I will never change anything I've done in this world. But there's just some nights I'm just like not on one.
Dude, so I have a hot
for
take.
sure.
I have a hot take about being a musician.
Yeah.
Make it hot.
I don't actually like listening to music.
I do.
Like,
No, don't.
like
You like listening to music.
No, no,
Shut
no,
the fuck
No. I agree with Chris on this one. The way he is, yeah.
What do you mean, though?
So I'm raising my hand. You can't
Sorry.
see that.
Can
What do you
I try to
mean?
explain?
Yes,
maybe on
I will.
my
I
end?
will. You go your end because
Yeah.
go your end,
Okay,
and
so-
I'll
so-
explain
so
what I
what-
Educate me.
so what did you say?
Educate me.
I don't actually like listening to music.
The thing about Chris,
Not necessarily like learning about music or learning
Yeah.
about new music or listening to new music.
Chris
like in my
knows
leisure.
the most about music of anyone that I've ever
I think
met. And
Chris,
that's based on the podcast.
The one thing that
Perfect.
that I've heard.
The
Sorry.
one thing about Chris that I appreciate is that he knows what he likes. And so
Yeah.
the problem with that is if I give him something I'm like, hey man, this like actually slaps, the first thing he's gonna listen to is like, all right, what's
Technical.
the vibe initially when it comes down to it? If I don't like what the vibe is, then I'm out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so
He tried to get me into the new Lizzo, and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I'll do the new Lizzo's fucking awesome.
It's
But
not
also,
good,
but for me, it's just like I understand.
not good.
Like Chris, because
For Chris, it's not good.
because Arias knows like what he likes. Anything outside of that like genre realm, like the
Yeah.
realm of genre, he's gonna be like, I'll take into consideration until I'm like, no, that was stupid.
That makes sense.
Right? Like is that
Yeah, so
That does make
I
sense,
don't
actually.
disagree with you, but I feel like it was moderately disingenuous because people don't know my range.
exactly?
I
No,
guess.
for sure.
So you know my range.
I didn't give enough
Yeah,
information. for
you
sure.
know my range. So like, I will literally listen to Carly Rae Jepsen's album.
Sure.
He loves Carly Rae. I still don't get why, but
See,
but then
But-
there's-
but-
the blowjob porno. That's probably why.
she has a blowjob porno.
no,
Yes, she does.
Does she
Sure.
really?
So firstly, I have no idea what she looks like, so I could have watched it and I have no idea.
No, but also he
I also just trumped that
Respectful.
a lot with my hand gestures.
also
but
Chris
I
likes.
wish you guys could see the hand gestures going
No,
on
it's
right
okay.
now.
Chris likes jerking off to Carly Rae Jepsen. Call me maybe. That's why he's. Oh no,
No,
he likes blowing. while-
no,
while
I like
he does it.
her like Wallflower song. That's on the like, album Celebration or some shit.
Only
Anyway,
number
it's like her third album. It's not
okay,
even on.
I will say,
Call Me Maybe is not even on there.
the one thing that I will say about Chris is that he loves female artists.
Female pop is my
Yeah.
preferred genre of music.
Respectfully.
Deadass.
Yeah. I mean, respectfully.
But see, and that's what I'm saying. Like G will send me a song, and like like I was talking about Lizzo, and he's like, "Hey, you know,
Check it
listen
out.
to this song because that's in my wheelhouse.
Of course.
100% in my wheelhouse, and I didn't dig it. So people, I just want to explain to people
About
listening.
Damn Time is such a good song though, man.
But like people listening, they're like, "Oh, he probably only listens to like Rancid and Primus. Like he doesn't give a fuck about Lizzo."
Which
I'm
you
like,
guys
"No,
aren't
man.
wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong."
That guy listens to Five Finger
But-
Death Punch
But
exclusively.
also, like one of my favorite albums is Kesha's
Boston.
Rainbow,
That's true. He brings it up a lot.
and it's
and
not even.
Kesha is phenomenal.
No,
Yeah, but Rainbow's not even good. Rainbow's
not.
not even a technically good album, but
Okay.
it's the emotion and raw ability.
Is that
she
her
brought-
newest one?
It might be it's one of the newer ones.
Well, and that's because the way that she was suppressed by her label.
Exactly,
So of course
and also
was coming out with
she kind of
heavy
got
shit after that.
like sexually assaulted
Yes,
by her producers.
Exactly.
But
She was
that was the first
so
album after
physically,
that.
mentally,
there you go. Jory gets it.
professionally abused
Jory gets it.
in her entire career. That of course those next albums were going to be heavy, man.
Dude, they were
gonna,
raw.
you were gonna.
They
It's gotta
were
be
so
the
good.
rawness.
It's got to be crazy
and
to
you're not
think.
wrong, but
it's got to be crazy that musicians have used. No. I mean, I'm not saying it's not.
But I guess I wanted to give context to how I don't
No,
listen
I
to music.
No, for sure. And like,
too, both of you guys.
no. I'm just saying, like,
happens
I
a
hung
lot.
out with Chris enough that like it's one of those things where I understand where he's coming from, but also I appreciate the fact what about Chris does is that he takes the perspective into consideration when it comes to a lot, especially specifically a lot of female artists. Like, let's be real, they have to struggle way much harder than we do.
Yeah.
Like even me being like a Mexican male artist,
Yeah.
I have it so much easier than any female artist in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're already a step behind no matter what race I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that that's the reason why you listen to it, but also you can feel the emotion when someone's saying something. And another thing is like Chris understands music more than most people do.
Correct.
Because maybe I'm wrong, but that was your scapegoat when it comes to like a lot of like hard times of just like feeling with shit. And you're just like, I'm not just going to focus on the lyrics, but the lyrics help. And that's always like the most thing you figure out. But you being a bass player, especially specifically with like music theory, you understand like what note makes the emotion the right way it has to happen, right?
D minor is the saddest key.
D minor is the saddest key, but also any seventh chord is my favorite key because it's about to transition to something completely different. At least
I prefer a sus7, but that's just on me.
The major sevenths. Those jazz chords are my favorite.
I don't know much about like music or technicality in music, but realistically, what I will say, listening to the podcast, because I do listen to the podcast.
Thanks, man. You're one of 3 people.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kirk and Sally.
And Lizzie
and maybe Roger
and D and
some guy from Germany.
Chris has
Kevin probably
throughout the podcast done like a fair amount of like music technicality education, and you can just tell that Chris knows and cares about music so much. No, not that G shits on
I totally
it.
do.
No, because here's the thing: is that even like one of the podcasts I listened to, I don't even remember who was on it, but I think you guys had a guest. But what happened was that Chris was talking about the technicality of songs, and you guys were talking about
was Skip and Paul.
Somebody that I used to know was
that was
on
Skip
that
and
list.
Paul. I know that conversation.
Okay,
I know that conversation.
That's where I stop with the compliments because Chris will always
no.
Hold
but
on.
I fucking loved listening to it because Chris was arguing the wrong man's argument, and the fact that everyone was a little bit against Chris in that, but Chris was right about the technicality, and he was right about the fact that song
the question was a fucking bullshit question.
It was not a bullshit question.
The question was against.
It was like,
Chris's,
what is the greatest artist of all time?
No,
Or
and
some
Chris was
shit
like,
that.
technically, Psy.
Yeah.
In Open Gangnam Style is the most technical song in the fucking universe. And the problem is that Chris isn't fucking wrong.
No. Hold on. No. Mute this guy. Mute this gentleman. Jesus Christ.
Of course, that's not everyone's favorite song. But
Okay,
he's not wrong in the sense of the way that song went viral was because of the technicality of that song.
Here's what my compliments stop with Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is the kind of guy who will do whatever it takes to be right.
No,
correct.
Okay.
And
no,
that also shows. No, Chris, just wait. That also shows in the podcast, G. And G is incredibly correct about that.
Yeah, dude. Seriously,
I will compliment Chris, and I will compliment G.
No.
Because G is also right.
Jory, you have to take a side. You have to take a side. It's either me or Chris.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay.
So
this is not airing ever again.
Nope.
No, I will say
no. I will scream in the fucking mic if I have to. I will. I got him.
Do it as loud as you can. Go for it.
Plug it back in.
He lost his headphones.
Here's the beat about me. Chris can disagree with a lot of shit.
I will absolutely scream about the fact that both of you guys are so right and so goddamn wrong all the time. Here's the thing. G forgot the camera today.
Louder!
No, I will be louder. G forgot the camera today. And while G was looking for the camera, I was talking to Chris about the fact that I listened to the...
And watching World Cup.
And we watched
Yeah, you guys, I missed the one game.
No! Shut up! I'm talking. No. So
You're gonna miss loaded,
I'm gonna
by the
talk
way.
normal now. Sorry, we're doing a yelling thing. But sorry, my cord's all fucked up.
You fucking rolled over his
I
cord.
rolled over my cord. Sorry, I backed up to scream.
Oh, man.
But what I'm gonna say
If
though,
you guys have not watched the podcast, don't worry about it. This is This is just gold.
As someone who listens to the podcast, and as someone who has opinions about listening to the podcast, as everyone who views does,
That's scary.
well, this is what I have to say about it, is that in so many arguments, you both argue so violently in such ways of like, realistically, outside looking in, yes, Chris always has to be right, as you all know.
See, that's where I'm holding.
Yes, respectfully.
I disagree.
And then G comes in, and he comes in a little bit softer, but G also has to be right. Am I right? But let me talk about the exact example because you and I talked about it before this, Chris.
We did.
We did. And
Collusion.
So,
Collusion.
No.
Well, we were also watching the World Cup football.
And
so
also,
I call collusion.
I'm just a stupid man who lives in the universe. And this was my opinion.
Stupid white man, by the way.
I'm a stupid straight white man.
Yeah, I didn't know if you
in
picked
the
up on his name
universe.
being Jory, if you could assume his race.
I'm just a dumb white man. Anyways,
There's stupid Mexicans over here.
This is what I think you guys need to consume is more straight white man ideas.
Catch Jory on Alex Jones next week, you guys.
I'm sorry. If you guys want to listen to this, please do. If not, don't.
Just full
because my
disclosure.
opinion's just stupid.
Full disclosure, Jory's going to finish his thought because I really want to hear it. But also, we are halfway through 2 bottles. Like, it's pretty much a full bottle of fucking whiskey. Yeah. So, Jory, please finish your thought, and then we're going to go from there.
Sorry. Thank you guys for listening, honestly. And if you want to listen to just this straight white man's opinion, I appreciate it. I'm not always right, and I'm not always wrong. So thank you.
So all I want to say, on that.
I want to.
Let me finish.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
He was giving us a
I want to hear
compliment.
both of you guys. Yeah. So this was the bit, and I think you're gonna remember it, G, because Chris remembered it.
I definitely remember it.
It was a topic that I actually felt passionate about when I was listening to it. It was the
Taylor Swift.
No.
Oh, we agreed on that one. didn't we?
Love her, but no. It was the
Diving.
flop versus dive.
Oh, God.
And I listened to that this morning in the shower, and I just about fucking ripped my shower curtain down and shit in the shower because
He was getting heated.
I was like, okay, whose side were you on this one?
That's the hilarious part of the story.
Yeah, go for it.
And I'm gonna explain this to you. The toughest part about that, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We've spent a lot of time here.
Yeah,
today,
we're a lot of
folks.
time,
Sorry.
but it's fine.
Anywho, the toughest part about this whole scenario was that I agreed with both of them. So when Chris was talking about dives, when you take a dive in boxing, that means you forcefully lost the match. Mm-hmm. And also, if you have watched the Adam Sandler's version of the Adam Sandler's version of Longest Yard, taking a dive in football means no. Taking a dive. Sorry, G just poured me 14 ounces of alcohol.
That was a lot of alcohol.
You don't have to be on it, bro. We have to be on tonight.
If you take a dive in football, according to Adam Sandler's Longest Yard, that means that you are losing the game.
No, he's tanking the game.
No.
That's also a synonym.
And let me finish, G. Oh my God.
Yeah, God, G, you interrupt all the time when I'm right. I mean, Jory's talking.
No, Chris is also wrong, and I can't wait to hear about how wrong Chris is. Anywho, in that film, taking a dive means that he lost the game. Okay,
He didn't take a dive, he tanked.
No, he took a dive.
And you're not wrong about that, but that's how they refer to it in the film.
Did they really?
Correct. In the film, because I've seen it way too. I was obsessed with that movie as a kid.
I also love that movie.
Wrecking Crew, what's his name?
Yeah.
What was his name? Adam Sandler's main character, what was his name? Paul Wrecking Crew.
Paul
Crew.
Paul Wrecking Crew.
It was just Crew.
Well,
No, Paul Wrecking Cruise. I think it was
Paul Wrecking
Cruise.
Cruise. Yeah.
Why did they give that to Terry? Cheeseburger Eddie. That's fair.
Yeah.
Also,
It
do you
could
guys
have been Eddie Cruz.
fucking
It ain't easy.
Yeah, anyway,
being cheesy.
anyway.
I know you can resist my shit. I got the shakes that'll make you quake.
I got the shakes that'll make you quake.
Fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll.
Anyway, Jory,
I just got burgers.
I just want to point out that I haven't interrupted you,
Correct. No,
but someone has.
Well, you're fine. It's fine.
because you're
Anyways, no, this is what I have to say about it. Is
also Joey Diaz. If you guys aren't familiar, I interrupted you.
As he interrupts.
Joey Diaz in that movie is the greatest character of all time.
Yeah.
When he's laying on the track and his belly is just operating.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Someone bring a Diet Coke.
Someone give me a Diet Coke.
All right. Okay,
He's like, I'm
DVD
fine.
extras-
French fries, I'm fine, or whatever the fuck.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Time out. Kinkies.
We're doing a lot.
This DVD extras has been way longer than we probably should have.
Sorry.
But also
Irrelevant.
not long enough.
Yeah.
So, closing arguments is we all have shit to do like in the next like 3 hours. Besides Jory, he's fucking.
I mean, I'm good for another 30 minutes. I don't know what you're.
I'm addicted to life.
Anyway, finish what you're saying about the diving and
This is what I had to say about it, the diving and the flopping, because I feel like everyone had a lot of qualms with the way
you made it this far. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. Everyone had a qualms with the way that they both spoke about them. If you are similar to me, and Chris was right in a lot of technical senses of
That's all I'm good at.
There's been a lot of technical things where in boxing, if you take a dive in boxing, you lost the boxing match.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah.
If you take a dive in football, according to Adam Sandler's longest yard, then you lost the football game. On purpose.
That was my point.
Realistically, in the best ways that G was arguing and also talking about was NBA and also soccer or
Real
football.
sports.
And if you take a dive in those games, that means that you didn't forcefully lose the game. You did better for your team. And you took a penalty for your team.
I don't know. That's a thing,
unless
man.
they call it. But if they don't call
Okay.
it, you take a dive and a chance to receive a foul for
So,
your team. I don't really know about soccer, but
I guess here's a personal opinion. This is what I'll leave it at. I think for me, it is one of those things where I prefer the term diving better than flopping.
Mm-hmm.
Because
so it's preferential. Okay, now it makes sense.
No, I think at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
I think they're the same in a lot of sports.
Yeah, it's the same in everything. Like if you flop, you're
And
diving.
I feel like that was
and
the
if you're
argument.
diving, you're flopping, right? Like that's at the end of the day. I guess at this point,
It's rubbish and trash.
Sorry. That
it's always
exactly rubbish and trash.
It's always rubbish. Rubbish sounds so much better.
Well, but trash is what people say.
No, trash.
But rubbish
trash
is
if you're in
more
a trailer.
fun.
Rubbish is more of like European classic shit.
Hey, this isn't
not.
episode 94, guys. Come on.
96.
94 is what I listen to about.
Oh,
rubbish
okay.
and
Sorry.
trash.
I thought you were saying this.
I'm a fan.
No, I will say
I
like
care.
like I heard flopping before I heard diving.
No, this is 97.
Yes.
Fuck. Never mind. I lied.
But I did hear flopping before diving.
But diving makes so much more sense because it's more petty than it is flopping.
Absolutely.
Because
And-
flopping, you just hear like hands up, right? Diving is like, like you're falling to the ground in like in a
But when you
disagree
guys
with
were
that.
arguing about it, this was where I felt as a fan.
Also, the World Cup's happening right now. And I
Offended.
gotta say it's diving. It's not flopping. It's
As
diving.
as a fan, I felt offended that you could not agree that it was. It is the same thing, genuinely, and technically,
Yeah.
Chris is right. But
that's all
as
I got. That's
Far,
all I got.
As far as people talk about it, G is so right on the fact that anytime you see a flop, and especially like, let's talk about the World Cup. Like, people will either call it a flop or a dive, but it means the
They'll
exact
call
same
it if it's a World Cup, they'll call it a dive.
a dive. Yeah.
If it's the USC playing, it's a flop.
And Chris did agree upon that. Sorry. I don't want to say that Chris is
Chris
just
is
a
wrong.
piece of
No,
shit
Chris-
who doesn't fucking
Chris is a
listen to
piece of
anything that
shit.
G
He's
says.
Tell me how
Anything
daddy's
he tells
right.
me. It's a
But-
fucking dive.
Chris did agree in soccer or football, however you want to say it. That
I think for me, it's just
it
more
was
about
correct.
the pettiness of it.
Yeah.
Like a flop is like, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Like, no,
Yeah.
Well-
this guy's swimming when he's playing basketball. I think that's why I like dive way more.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
Yeah,
on what Jory's talking about,
yeah,
the only main point that I
Unless
was
it's water
even
polo, then it's dive, then it's flopping.
And then it's a flop. Yeah,
Then
if it's water
flop.
polo,
Then
that's
it's
a flop,
fucking
not a
it's
dive.
a fucking whale.
Don't ever
No,
call
it's
it
a breach
Yeah,
because they come out of the water and blah. But anyway,
It's a free willy.
But as
Or you could do sound effects. You could be like,
you could.
Oh, he's straight orca right
There
now.
you go. There you go.
yeah.
But the only main point, the only main point that I ever can make,
Yeah.
and the only reason that I
hold on.
argue with G on a lot of stuff. Let me fucking finish.
No, I'm on your point.
Let 'em
Chris,
finish.
Chris has the last word because he hasn't talked a lot, and we had to finish this DVD actually, so we have shit to do.
No.
So, Chris, you have the final word.
Keep going.
So my main point on literally
Cheers, you
anything,
guys.
anything that we talk about. Cheers.
Wait.
Yeah, you're holding it the wrong spot.
Ready?
No.
Everyone. You gotta.
Oh, we're doing this? All
2,
right.
3, cheers.
I fucked up.
That makes my dick so wet.
really good.
But okay, the only main point and only like
You can't talk until you take a drink.
I spilled a little bit on me.
that's fine. But the only thing that I have in my entire life when I'm trying to power through, but you guys are fucking up so hard, I'm laughing.
G choked.
The only point that I have on any of the arguments I make in my entire life is that I'm technically correct.
And you are. And that is the tough part.
That's my life, though. That's my life.
That's the tough part.
But I don't know. So the episode that released with Clark, episode 95, we literally talked about like technicality of arguments.
And
Jesus, G almost died.
I truly enjoy listening.
All right, you go.
Bye, you guys.
Do it. I truly enjoy listening. G's gonna go puke.
Yeah.
You can hear him crying while he coughs
All the
like
way.
a baby. Anyways, he's gone now.
Yeah.
I truly enjoy, again, as a fan, listening to the technicality of Chris versus the like real lifeness of G. And not that Chris is not like real life, because
No,
Chris
I mean,
is an
that's fair.
adult man.
That's fair. But you're right,
But
though.
what Chris brings to the podcast, if anyone ever hates on Chris, and honestly, I was expecting to come on the podcast and get yelled at by Chris, and I've never had that experience, and I've known Chris for a minute now.
Yeah.
And Chris has always been so kind, so sweet to me, and I was like, I'm about to get yelled at by Chris. you know? Well, and that's what I was expecting, but realistically, listening to the podcast, the technicality of Chris is wonderful, and then the real life, like, and I don't even want to say knowledge, because Chris doesn't not have that real life knowledge, but what Chris brings to it is he's like, okay, this is the real life knowledge, but also technically.
Yes. So, and that's a good point. That's a good point.
It's a fun dynamic.
Because G
and you guys,
has
you
the
guys
people's
never talk
opinion.
about that, though.
Yeah. But
You
that's our thing.
I know,
You
but
just
you guys
blew up
have
our
never.
entire thing.
You guys have never taught the crowd.
Yeah, you blew up our entire thing.
Yeah, but that's
so
the bit.
G is like representing of the real people.
Yeah, of course.
And all of his opinions like are very closely related to like actual people's opinions on certain things.
Sure. Yeah.
And all I can do is be devil's advocate.
Of course.
And
you have to have
win
devil's advocate.
and win on technicalities.
And if you don't think you have to have devil's advocate in like a podcast as a viewer, you're wrong. You need that. If you got two people, you got to have a dynamic of a devil's advocate.
Yeah, the problem is technicality and how I bring technicalities. I am almost correct 100% of the time. Because
legally, Chris is right 100% of the time.
Yeah,
correct.
but that's the thing.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's like I don't even want to be right. I just find loopholes.
Chris doesn't say words
And that's
unless
my
they're
favorite.
correct.
But
legally,
I guess G died, so we should probably wrap
took
it
a
up.
fat dump.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Here's the thing. We're gonna shoot a second podcast right now. So listen to
eventually.
that one. Episode 101 is what we're about to shoot.
I guess now Jory has to be 101.
Just kidding.
No, you're 101.
Just
You
kidding,
sealed
but
it.
maybe.
You sealed it. So you're going to be. So we're taking January off. So you're taking January.
And that's how you do it, guys.
Yeah.
You force yourself into another podcast.
We're taking January off. So now it's going to be just me and Jory with
Just
no G.
Chris and Jory with
So
no G. It's gonna
episode
be so wet
101 coming out January, whatever Wednesday, is going to be me and Jory. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys
For listening
thank
to
you
this
for listening to
podcast.
my dumb shit. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And G's back. Oh, Chub.
Don't go to the restroom.
Yeah, he blew it up.
No, it was my
but
face.
I was
Not
just
even my
saying.
ass. It was all face.
I was just saying. We're wrapping it up right now. So thanks to Jory.
What'd I miss?
Thanks to G. Nothing.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing about episode 101. But yeah, thank you, Jory, for hanging out so much. I'm sorry we couldn't get you on camera, but you know,
Totally
God
fine.
damn it, you guys are
Here's the
assholes
thing.
so much.
Here's the thing. No,
How
you
did I
guys
just walk in like throwing up and you guys just fucking talk about this shit?
Gee, shut up.
yeah. So you can't see it, but Jory just stroking the microphone as
Rock
he's
and
saying
roll
that.
style. Anyways,
I guess you guys outro it since I'm not.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
outro. Here's the thing, guys. You don't have to see me on camera here today because of G, but you can always come down to 477 Distilling, and I'll usually be there so you can see my wonderful mullet and my
it's a good mullet.
stupid dumb face.
There you
Sneak into his
go.
house and shave it.
There you go.
G's gonna sneak into my house and take my mullet from me and put it on his own head.
I'm gonna fuck his mullet and then shave it.
Wow, that's excessive.
Anyways, you guys,
I wish that was the first time I've received that threat.
hey, thank you guys again so much for joining us. We hope you guys had a good time with our DVD extras, which was probably
Thanks,
longer than
guys.
our podcast. But thank you guys again so much.
Same.
Make sure you guys check out Jory at 477 Distilling and at his house at Chiba Hut Avenue.
69 Chiba Hut Avenue.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jory, so much for joining. Hope you had a good time.
Thanks for having
Let's
me,
finish
guys.
this, even though I just threw up. Let's just
I already
finish this.
I already
still have
finished.
some.
Oh, wait, no.
so-
Jory's got to finish up. Fill up real quick.
Here we go.
That's fair. All right. Cheers, you guys.
Well, thank you guys for having me, honestly.
I promise next episode we'll have camera.
blast.
Very
But now episode 101, we're doing
G's,
a very
G's
special
gone,
episode.
dude.
What the fuck, you guys?
Doesn't matter.
Shut up, G. You were
So thanks everybody.
Wait, are you guys doing a show without me?
Thanks everybody for listening to this DVD extras.
I guess 101 would be me.
Stick the mic down your throat.
Me, Chris, and Jory, I guess. So cheers to
No,
episode 101, you guys. Thank you guys again so much for joining in.
All right.
See what happens.
Thanks, guys. Make sure to like,
Yeah, what the fuck are
comment,
you guys talking about?
subscribe.
What did I miss?
And of course, if you can rate us. And let's
Hi, everyone.
blow this podcast up. We're almost at episode 100. And when you get to an episode 100, you have to at least have like 1 million views per week.
Yeah.
So let's definitely get that up.
Facts.
I just want to say
Are you guys getting rid of the Mexican?
thank you guys. G's still talking, but I'm going to ignore him. Thank
Shut
you
up,
guys
G.
so much for
at 100
hanging
yet.
out for this many episodes, because this is a lot of episodes. We've had more episodes combined than most podcasts we've worked with. So I just want to say thank everybody for listening to us. And we will see you next week on Wednesday. Hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving, which was a couple weeks ago, but have a great holiday.
Yeah.
We will see you soon.
Happy Cinco de Mayo!
That's not the wrong episode.
Different,
But thanks,
but-
guys.
Happy Kwanzaa!
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Have a good day.
Bye!
Enjoy.
About like the...
Recording argument now. We have 50 minutes until the SIM card's full.
I think the argument more so right now is not so much about like what we're doing right. I think it's just more so like who's going to be actually in charge of everything that we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not even micromanagement, it's the compartmentalization of our duties is skewed. And I
So-
think
okay,
that's
so
where
I guess-
we are fucking up.
I guess this is actually good. That's on record. If there's a video that's coming with the podcast,
Yeah, that's us.
All I want, no, it's not even us. It's you. What I'm
No,
there
no,
for, no.
As a consumer,
That's
this
us.
is what I would expect.
Pricing and decision is all you.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
My responsibility with that is
Yes.
just setting up the camera and making sure it's in the
Chris
right
is
way.
in-
You know what I mean? Like that's I guess that's what I'm saying.
consumer.
So anything podcast related?
He's on a rant, so
No, for sure.
I know.
It's actually really positive. right now.
I
It's just
do
more
want to
just clearing
talk
the
about
air.
consumer,
Shut
and
up.
I want to talk
Shut
about
up,
what I
Jared.
would
No, I'm
pay.
just
No. Sorry, not
we will,
price
we will.
wise, but I want to talk about who I want to pay.
No, for sure.
Sorry, but I want you to.
But I think we definitely need to sit down and talk and actually just talk about like what is everyone's responsibility, right? So if it's just like, hey, G, I have a customer that's actually want to do video for like this infomercial, things like that. I'm like, dude, okay, I'll be in charge of that. I just need you to come and do audio for me.
Yeah, and
Hell
I thought that
yeah.
was our understanding.
We never really talked about it. It was
but-
more so of like that, like, hey, G, you got the podcast and that's it. And I was like,
Yeah,
all right.
but if someone wants to come in and do a podcast that has literally nothing to do with video, I thought that was just like a given. Like,
but,
okay.
But there's a multiple dimension with anything that we do, and that it's just more just clearing the air of just like if it's just audio, then yeah, by all means do whatever you want to do. But I'm thinking over here like audio and video, and I'm getting to a point where I was like I want to have like multiple angles with that. Like with Josh, Josh is the anomaly for sure.
Okay.
Fuck Josh.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it's good pros with us, and you're
Josh
not wrong.
is great.
No, you're not. No, he's a
fuck
dick. He's a fucking low and Bober piece of shit.
Who's
On the record, by the way. But no, I guess that's what I'm saying is like I love the fact that this is turning more into like a more professional thing as we're in front of a mic. But,
Yeah, right.
It makes it more fun, guys.
That's why we stopped yelling at each other.
But I think it's fair to
great.
say that you are
I
in
love
charge
it.
of all podcasts,
okay.
especially ours. If you're just like, if you tell me, hey G, are you able to record a second podcast tonight? But by all means, don't ask me what I want.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I am the audio guy, and I want you to understand that.
You're the podcast guy.
Correct.
Well, not even to the point of podcast.
You're the
but,
audio and podcast guy.
But yeah.
Audio
So
production
anything
and
audio
main
is
podcast
I will
man.
lovingly take care of, which includes writing songs for X amount of things.
Put that in your mouth.
So, God, I have to piss now all of a sudden that we're
Do
recording.
it.
And I just have to, but no, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying,
Can we
like,
say anything podcast related is your domain of business?
depending.
I think it should be everything.
But
man.
depending.
but what's
so
the
you
depending
can
mean?
sell a podcast,
Please
a video
tell the
podcast.
depending.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, if it's a video podcast, then it's
Okay.
not really a podcast.
But no.
anymore.
A video podcast is a podcast.
Well,
if you
to a
can
point,
post
to a
it
point,
on,
yes,
you're
yes,
like,
yes.
Are you saying Joe Rogan's
if you
not a
can
podcast?
post
That's
it
what I'm saying.
on
Well, that's
your
what I'm saying.
podcast
It's a
forum,
podcast. It's a subgenre.
but
still a podcast, bro.
well,
Just
this is what I
because
have to
it's
say
video
about
doesn't mean
that.
it's not a
Then
podcast.
you
Yeah, well,
are
that's-
the
I was gonna say it's not a
audio.
podcast 'cause it's not a podcast.
No, but you're the audio editor, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he shoots a video podcast, you're gonna edit the audio.
I'm going to edit
in
the audio
that.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But that's what I'm saying.
I feel like
But-
that's a fair.
But then he's going to edit the video, and that's the whole thing.
And that's totally fine.
But it's a podcast,
Right?
like
Sorry.
so. I guess this is the point. It's if G shoots a video podcast, it needs both of us
So you're saying that with the Pablo recordings, and you need me there.
to a point. Yes.
I think you get to the point where you don't actually need me there. That's
Well, that's what I'm saying.
the
But
optimistic
that's
aspect.
Well, who's shooting
our,
the video?
That's our agreement to a point.
But
not
Yeah.
to what
I
we
think-
should
who's shooting
do
the video, though?
when we get to a busy.
other business
Yeah.
area.
But
Who's
also that's the biggest problem.
Well, for Pablo though, who's
Yeah.
shooting the video?
I'm the one that's
He's
setting
shooting
up,
the video.
I'm not even. I'm just setting up the video.
Yeah.
It's total collaboration. I think that's what it comes
Here's
down
the
to.
bit.
It's just
Here's the
finding
bit.
out.
I love both of you guys.
Well, okay,
Oh no!
go
Okay,
for it,
okay.
go for
Full
it.
disclosure.
I
We're not
want-
mad at each other, by the way.
Yeah.
No.
This is actually pretty normal
and
for us.
I genuinely, in my heart of hearts,
I have
don't
to
think
piss so
that
bad,
either
so-
of you hold it in, Chris.
Chris,
Put it back in your body.
All right, I have to go piss for
All right,
sure now.
all right, do it, Chris. Ooh, get him, G. Get him, G. Shit your dick off, boys. Anywho. Hey guys, this is the Jory Davidson podcast. These guys don't really smoke vapes, but I'm about to rip a vape. That's what the people like. Anywho, here's what I got to say about these two's dilemma in their business. I love them both. It's tough because I understand G's perspective of business mentality, but I understand Chris's perspective of building a business. And I think that's the differential in this conversation of G's talking about business attitude currently and making a business and having a business. And Chris is talking about building something bigger than what's current. And people forget about all that. Like that's a lot to think about. That is a lot to receive, and that's a lot of information. But I think as far as both of them go, unfortunately, they're both right. You step into a business and you put in effort. But you also have been sorry, that was Chris's portion. But you also have been in a business as far as G goes. And you also have like a care and a certain level of venture capital that you've put into the business. So it's tough. Oh, they're back. They're back. Don't listen to me, but I'm right. And they don't know about it. What? Oh my gosh. Oh shit.
G assaulted me in the bathroom.
Well, here's the thing. You guys are going to love what I said while you guys are gone.
I'm excited to listen to that.
I think we definitely have to have a coffee meeting about this situation.
Here's the thing.
Can we also just
Hey, all three of us
talk about it.
All three of us, can we have a podcast about creating a podcast? Because I think that's a really good
literally be
idea.
a podcast.
And I think it could be at least a 45-minute podcast. And it doesn't have to be 5x5, but it could be the first episode of my podcast, whatever we want to do. But I think that creating the idea of creating a podcast could be a really good selling point.
With that being said, if you want to talk about podcasts, Talk to the podcast master over here, Chris. If you want video,
And this is what I gotta
let
say.
me know.
No. This is what I have to say.
Actually, no. I think we both agree on that. Is what I think is. We're not even mad. Honestly, like that's the thing is like I think Chris and I've gotten really good about like arguing with each other. Like, the fact that we didn't yell, like, I mean, it might have been like you were here, but
Yeah, it's because
your guys' argument was not bad, and nobody was offended by it. And I talked to all the consumers of the podcast while you guys were gone, and they appreciated it.
Whatever beer we drank was fucking extra.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's not. It's good. It's not bad. It's good.
Dude, I gotta take a fucking
It's just
nap.
extra.
No.
Anyway, so I have to be at Weldworks like an hour ago. So
Don't
whatever this 9-minute snippet will be, it'll be. All right. Thank you.
I'm just gonna let you know right now. You could